Hi everyone, welcome to Full Stack Menu. So in this video, we are going to learn add value annotation in Spring Boot, and we will touch base on Spring Expression Language, popularly known as SPEL. So here I have created a basic Spring Boot application. You can also do so by going to File, New, Spring Starter Project, fill in the details. Here is the name, the Java version, and all other details. Click on Next. Here you can mention the Spring Boot version and the dependencies you want. If you are not seeing these dependencies here, just click on type here Spring Web and you can see it. So just click on this and click on finish so that the project will be created for you. Here I have added couple of properties to the properties file. Now to understand the use of value annotation, let's create a controller class. So I have created a simple controller class with @REST annotation, and I have created two fields, name and price, and I have created a simple method with string as the return type, and I am returning the name and the price. To convert the method a consumable endpoint, let's give mappings to it. So @get mapping and give the URI path as /values. Let's use @value annotation at field level. Let's start giving hard-coded values. So for name, let's give Ravi, and for price, let's give 1000. And restart the application. As we are using DevTools, so the application will be restarted on 8080 port automatically. Let's go to Postman and see. So here is our endpoint, localhost 8080/values. Let's send the request. Click on send, and we are getting Ravi and 1000. Basically the values that we hard coded we are getting in response. It means the value inside the double quotes is binded to the corresponding field. In the second case, 1000 is binded to the price. Now let's see how can we bind properties from the properties file. Here in the properties file we have name as the property. To bind this, here the syntax is dollar curly brace and the name of the property, that is name. In the same way, dollar curly brace and the name of the property, that is price here. Okay, and let's restart the application. The application is restarted on the port 8080. Let's go to Postman, click on send, and we are getting the response back RAS and 10,000, which we mentioned in the properties files. So we are successfully able to bind properties from the properties file. Let's see the advantages. It is fail first and it is type safe. Let's understand what fail first is. Suppose tomorrow somebody deletes the property name from the properties file. Now if we restart the application, then the application is not going to start. It will say it is not able to resolve the property placeholder name. So you are getting this error at application startup that will prevent a null pointer at runtime. To be in safer side, let's assign a default value to the property. The syntax is colon and the value that you want to assign. Here I have assigned as my default value. Now the application will be restarted successfully, and the meaning of this syntax is if the name property is not there in the properties file, then it will give my default value, or else it will give the value of the name property. So let's go to the Postman and test this. Now we are getting my default value. Okay, now let's put back the name property to the properties file and restart the application. Application is restarted and we can see Raj, which we are getting from the properties file. The second advantage of this is it is type safe. So if I convert the string to integer, now the data type of price is integer. And let's say in the properties file I change it to a string. Let's say I convert it into hello. Now if I restart the application, then it will fail. It is saying number format exception for the input string hello. Here the values property is having comma separated strings. So to bind this, let's create a field having data type list of string and add @value annotation at field level. So here also the syntax is same, dollar, curly brace and the name of the field, that is value. Let's create an endpoint that will return the values field. Now we have created an endpoint and let's restart the server. Now the server got restarted and the URI path is list values. Let's go to Postman and test this. Now it returned list of string and the values are coming from the properties file. Here the values map property is having key value pairs. To bind this to a field, we have to create a map of string and integer. I have created a map and let's annotate this with @value annotation. Here the syntax is a bit different. Normally what we do, double quotes, dollar, curly brace and the property name, that is values map here. Now let's restart the application and see the errors. Let's open up the console. Here it is telling cannot convert the value of type string to a map. If you scroll to the right, no matching editors or conversion strategy found. So to bind values to a map, we have to use Spring expression language. Let's follow the syntax. Put a hash and open curly brace and close the curly brace. Now if you restart the application, then the application will be restarted and let's create an endpoint that will return the values map. So the endpoint is map values, that is returning the values map. Let's go to Postman and see. Now in the Postman it is returning the key value pairs that we fetched from the properties file. Actually we can do bunch of other things with Spring expression language. Let's say from the values map we need only the value of the key one. To do so, let's create a field of data type int in the controller class. The data type is int because we want to bind a int value. Now let's write the @value annotation. Here I am just doing copy paste and the syntax is after the first curly brace dot and the name of the key. Let's return the value of the key 1 in the slash values endpoint and let's restart the application. Now the application is restarted. Let's go to Postman and see. We are at slash values endpoint. Click on the send button and we can see the value of the key 1. We saw how to bind a single key from a key value pairs. But what if the key itself is not defined inside the key value pairs? Let's say I want to bind the key 5 from the key value pairs. In the application.properties, the key 5 is not available. So if we save this, then the application will fail to start and it is telling that it is not able to find the key 5. To be in the safer side, we can assign a default value to this key 5. The syntax is square brackets, key inside single quotes and after this question mark, colon and the default value. Just go with this syntax. And let's return the key 5 to the slash values endpoint and restart the application. Now we are at slash values endpoint, click on send and we are getting the value 15, that is the default value that we hard coded. If the key 5 would have been defined in the properties file, then we would have got the value from the properties file. Let's say we'll write key 5 and the value is 5. So now everything is done. Let's just restart the application and go to the Postman. We are at the slash values endpoint, click on send and we are getting 5. Here to this values map field, we are injecting the values map property entirely. What if before even injecting, we want to filter the map properties? Let's say we want to inject those key values for which the value is greater than 1. To do so, let's follow the syntax. We can do it like this. We are returning the values map in the slash map values endpoint. Now let's go to Postman and open the slash map values endpoint. Previously we are returning all the key value pairs. Now let's send the request and yes, we are returning all the key value pairs for which value is greater than 1 only. I have checked in the code in GitHub, and you will get the GitHub link in the description section. In the next video, we will see @ configuration properties. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you.